Hello, I'm Micks Mowers and Merman, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to look at this rather nice looking Cobra lawnmower. This belongs to a friend of mine who's a chippy, and I hope to do a bit of a deal with him. If I can fix his lawnmower, he might hang one or two doors for me upstairs in my bedroom and in the bathroom, so that'd be cool. He said, I think this was given to him by his parents. It's missing the airbox and filter. I've got that coming. I've ordered that already. That is possibly contributing why it's not actually running. There's no fuel in the tank, I do know that. He's a bit of an engine guy. He has got outboards. I think he has had a carburetor part, which I'll look in there in a minute, see what's going on inside there. But all in all, it won't start, it don't start, and that's why it's come to me. So if you want to see a quick little video on how to get your lawnmower up and running, if it just won't start at all, then check out this video. Hopefully this video can help you out. If this is your first time you're watching Micks Mowers and Merman, hit the old subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all, that way you can be told next time I upload another video, and it's completely free of charge to subscribe to my channel, despite the fact it says subscribe. There you go, that's the thing. So yeah, hit the old bell and we'll go from there. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty. Let's get this little tiny Cobra lawnmower up on the bench and try and get it running. So here we go then, little Cobra lawnmower up on a bench. First thing to check for would be spark plug, it'd be all that sort of good stuff. So we can check all of that stuff just by doing one very, very simple test. Get yourself a little tiny bit of carburetor cleaner, take your carburetor off a choke. Well, this is probably an auto choke, no doubt. No, it's not. Right, off a choke. And then all we're gonna do is just spray some carburetor fluid down in here, right into the throat. Nice good dollop of that. Put the machine back onto choke, and then give your pull cord a little tiny bit of a pull with a dead man's hand in and see if the machine will not actually fire over. If it fires over, we've got spark. So that confirms we have got spark. Because we've got a spark, the engine actually started to fire. Let me just open my door a touch because it is a bit smoky in here now, and it is very, very windy outside, so I don't have my door open too long. Open the old barn doors up a touch, let that smoke out. So he said he's had the carburetor apart, so I think I need to double check inside there first, make sure everything is right. He said something about the main jet being a bit blocked. So we've got a good spark. We've got no fuel inside the tank as of yet, but we'll put fuel in there a bit later on. And then, yeah, carburetor clean to go first. So let me get it set up. I'll be back to you in 2 shakes of a tail. Okay, so I do use impacts and stuff. You can use ratchets, you can use spanners, whatever you've got to hand, use what you've got. Don't need to go out buying specialist tools. I just do it for quick easiness and speed. That's all it's like, to try and get through my repairs as quick as I can, as fast as I can. And remove the airbox and remove the airbox breather pipe off of the airbox so it all comes off together in one big go. As I say, there's no fuel in here. I'm going to remove a little tiny fuel clip that just holds the fuel line in place. Take that off. Good. I'm going to put along those pliers and just round my side here. Let me bring it around because I don't want you guys and girls saying to me, Mick, you didn't show me. So here's what's important is that you need to double check what your setup is like. You've got a little tiny spring here at the back here, that little spring there. That goes onto a little tiny hole just down there. You've got a bar here and a bar here. So just make sure you've got a photograph of where all the bits and bobs go before you take your bits and your bobs off. So now it's time to take a photograph. Take a photograph now. Say cheese. Cool, right. So that's your photograph taken. All we're going to do is just remove the fuel line off of it. Now, I said there's no fuel in here. I've got a little bit of fuel coming out, but it must be a bit of residual. What's in there then? Oh, it must be a bit of residual then, Mickus. He says I had no fuel in there. That's absolutely knocking fuel out. Oh, there's a little tiny bit in there. It's not a great deal. There's a little bit of fuel. He said there was none. So a quick rag, save all that fuel up, soak it all up. Don't know, no dangers going off here. Soak all that fuel up, get it all gone. I dare say the fuel will be no good anyway because it might have been sat for a while. He did say he does use the Shell V Power because he has got outboard. So there was probably about 150 mil of petrol in there. No biggie. I'll soak that all up. I don't want to damage the deck, you see, because it's quite a nice deck on here. And if you have too much petrol, then it damages the old decks and takes the paint off. Let me just soak some of that up. Get rid of it. I don't want to damage the old paintwork. It's quite a tidy looking little lawnmower. You know, it's all there in regards to no paint flakes, and don't me to damage it just because it's dirty. I'll begin a proper clean up anyway before it goes back, just to present it back after repair. So that's bulk of it done. There's a bit of soaking up around here to do. I'll get as bad as Bruce for spilling gas. He spilled about half a litre of gas every week. That's hilarious. Getting as bad as Brucey boy. Right, so that's that all done. So what I'm going to do now is look at some WD-40 and just spray some WD-40 over this, and that just sort of neutralises any fuel. Okay, because the fuel will eat into the paint if you give it a chance. So a little bit of WD-40 just over the bits that had petrol on it. That's now out of WD-40. So moving on to the carbine. All we want to do is quite simple. Let's have a look around here. And it's quite easy. So all we do is just open your throttle right up, get a pair of long nose pliers, open your throttle wide open, remove your little tiny spring off, and then remove your throttle arm off. That just comes off. I should then be able to remove this carby off of this arm, hopefully. Yeah, and then up it, over it, and out. See that? Up it, over it, and out. That's how it goes. So they can all stay in situ. We know where they all are. This is the bit we're after. We're after the carburetor, because this would be the bit that's got the dirt inside it, no doubt. Now, hopefully, we can get away with a quick little clean, because I think he said he's been in here already. So I might try and do this up on the bench in front of me, just for ease, because he said he had it apart already. So we'll have a quick little look, see how we get on. Okay, carburetor now up on the old bench. Let's get a bit of a clean up, see what we get. So I zap the old flow out first, one on the side. Quick little zap, and a zap underneath as well. And we'll see what we've got occurring. So, take that off. I'm not moving the bowl very much. I want to see what's inside the carb, you see. We've got some water in there, and yeah, bits of water in there, bit of gunk in there, bit of dirt in there. See that dirt there, look? So that's not brilliant. We're going to remove the float pin. We're going to remove the float. And inside there, that be where the problem be. And you get myself a little tiny flat-headed screwdriver, of which I still have not found my special screwdriver I made many moons ago. So I'm having to use different types. So you want a screwdriver with no shoulder to it, really. That's what you want. Let's try that. Now, he said he's been in here. Oh my lord. I think he has been in there. I think I can get that out. Don't know if I can get that out. No. I can't get that out because it's been mullered. Yes, Moulin Rouge. Now you can try and heat them up just a touch, just to make them sweat a little tiny bit. I have seen that done. But this is not good, people, because if I can't get that out, then we don't stand a very good chance of getting this to run very well. So I'm going to run that through there first. To get any flow. So you're not getting no flow come through, are we? No, we're getting nothing. So that's actually seized right up. All this gunk, let's see. All that gunk where the fuel's been sat. That's all gunky, that is. Now I can't get that jet out, guys. That's not going to come because there's no end to it. The head's been zeppelined. Just can't. I can tighten it, but I can't physically. I don't know if that got it or not. I'll put some serious force on that. It could be a new carby. But what we're going to do is we're going to try and clean it with the jet in place, which is not the best thing, but this is what happens. Now I don't have a spare carb for that I do know. So I'm going to try my hardest to try and clean this main jet out. Now inside here will be a little tiny hole, okay, right inside that middle of that main jet. So I'm going to put that all the way through, all the way down in and just try and rim out that main jet. Oh, that's full right up with stuff in there. If I could get that out, we'd be laughing. Oh, there'd be no happy as Larry dance on this one. Let's try that really thin boy. See if I can get him in there. It could be I had to put the whole carburetor into an ultrasonic cleaner. That would help. Just try and get right down the centre of the hole there. Has that gone in? Yeah, that's gone in. So now, just trying to clean that out and go up one on the sizes, which should be that one just there. Oh no, that one. That's gone in. So now I'm applying plenty of sideways pressure. And all I'm trying to do is clean that main jet out as best I can with the tools that I got, but there's no way that main jet's coming out of there. So good clean. Now last time I put stuff in there, nothing was coming out because it was blocked. So now we might see some stuff come through the bottom of the carb now. Yeah, there you go. Now I'll have to use a carburetor cleaner on this, I think. No, I'll probably get away with that because it's got no needle and seat, but I might want to remove just for a little tiny float bowl, possibly. We shall see in a minute. We'll try and put that into there. Just want to run that all the way down. That's good. Let's put some WD-40 behind it, just so it doesn't actually do my gaskets and rings in. That's good. In here. Good. In here. In here. Right, so next thing I want to do is just want to remove this little tiny one here, because this would be a slow idle circuit, guys. Okay, this is the one that's got to come out so your machine will actually idle in the first place. This is for the slower side of it. Now what happens with these is that they get blocked as well, and when they get blocked up, it's never a good thing. So I'm just going to get a screwdriver on that, just lift that up very, very gently. Lift that up, and hopefully all the washers are intact. They are, good. So in here, got a little tiny jet in there, which we'll come back to in a minute, but I want to clean inside here as well. Okay, so I want a good, darn good clean inside here. That's good. Through here. That's good. Through the main feed in. I'm not going to carburetor clean up on my camera. That's good. That's good, man. That looked good. We like that. Bit of WD-40 spray on the whole carby, just to try and neutralise some of that carburetor spray we're using. I can now see inside here, definitely. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get my air compressor, and I'm going to try and compress any dirt out through there as well. So you'll have a hole here and here, so I'm going to block. That'll help. But you can see inside there. Let me try and get you a light. Someone's been in there beforehand and chewed that up. Yeah, it's moulard. See that? Absolutely moulard rouge in there. And ain't coming out for nothing. You would have thought now that's had a bit of cleaning therapy put on it. You would have thought it might just give itself up, but it's because someone's wound it in there. And it ain't gonna come. It ain't gonna do it. So I'm not gonna force it anymore, because we do actually have a jet in situ, so that's a good thing. It's when you don't have a jet cause of problems and they snap on you. But as we actually have got a jet in situ, we should be alright. So I have had good success with not taking the jets out before, just by cleaning them through and taking time with them, just to make sure you actually get all the bits you need out. But it's the emulsion tube behind it, that's a problem. That's when the problems start, because your emulsion tube's got to be cleaned as well. So it might pay me to try and locate a second carburetor for this. So again, it's going to go back in again with my cleaning rods. Have another clean. Now what you can also do is come in from the other side with a 45-degree angle straw. So I think I have one up here quite close somewhere. Let me get a 45-degree straw. I don't actually have one to hand, but I can make one. That's no drama. All you want is a little bit of a lighter or something. Let me show you. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be back. So a little tip here is just move that petrol out of the way, because it is all petrol and fuel. Just get a WD-40 straw, right, and just warm that up. Warm it up. Don't melt it. Just warm it up, and then just put a bend on it. See how it bent over? Boom, 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 boom. Like that. Just encourage it to stay over a 45-degree angle. A little blow flow. And then what you can then do, you can then take that off your carburetor cleaning, put your 45-degree angle straw on. Like so. Put that into there. And then you can then come right in and go right inside the tube. There's a tube right inside here, you see. Right in the centre. Looks like a brass bit sitting at the bottom. You can then go right inside there, hook over top of that tube, sit it on top, and it'll blow it straight out the bottom. There it goes. Boom. So that gets it nice and clean that way as well. So happy with that. Let me get some of this stuff all cleaned up, out the way. I think we're nearly there. The best I can do with that carby today is going to be that, without actually replacing the carburetor. If you can find a carburetor to replace it, that'll be the problem. Let me just soak some of this fuel up. Let me just soak that up out of the way. Get rid of it. Make it less flammable. Right, so next one I want to do is, remember I said to you about that slow running idle circuit. So I keep moving my camera, guys, but I'm trying to get my camera so close so you can see more, but unfortunately that does mean it does get knocked from time to time. So now I've got my little tiny slow idle circuit just here, okay? Look at my tray. My tray did not like that carburetor spray. I'm going to get a set of these little tiny thumb drills, so you can find them online. I think I've actually got them in my list of tools that I use stuff. You go and check in there. The smallest one that they do, the tiddliest one, will fit in there. Just screw it in, and you'll see it in there. See that? Just put it in there for two or three times. Now, don't use WD carb cleaner on here, because it will expand the O-rings on here, okay? Use WD-40. But just by doing that, I don't know if it takes the next one up. I don't think it do. I've tried that before. It might do. I might be wrong. Here's the next one up. Give it a clean. You're going too big. If it starts to bite, back off straight away. No, it's going to bite. Don't leave it. So the smallest one we do, the pink one, on mine, put them in there and just get a bit of a clean. Right, because that circuit's got to be open. Right, if that circuit's not open, then it ain't doing nothing. So, with the carburetor now cleaned, I've got to clean the bowl yet. That I have got to do. That bowl's a bit rancid. So that I've got to do. But the rest of the carb is good. Happy with that. A bit of dirt just there, which I don't like. I can just see it sitting there staring at me. Get rid of that bit of dirt. And down in there. Right, so now carb has been compressed and cleaned. So now what we can do, we can now put our needle and float back in, and it sits in there. Pardon me. Little tiny post to hold it in place. Goes in there. Another quick compress off, because I'm picking up dirt. Every time I touch up this carburetor, I'm picking dirt up. That's good. I'll need to turn it over now and put my little tiny slow idle circuit in. That sits in. It'll only go one way. And grab the throttle control bit to it as well. do that up, and you want about 3 threads hanging out the back side of that. Let's choose a slightly smaller screwdriver than the mouse. Better. So I want 3 threads hanging out the other side of this, just where your throttle is. That's about 2.5, 2. There's 3 threads, right. That's that done. So all that's left now to do is to clean up the bowl, put the 2 nuts back in, give it a good clean, and then that's that done. And then I'll get the lawnmower back on top, and then we're going to refit the carburetor back to the machine. Okay, so we're back on top with the lawnmower. Let's now put it all back together. Just slide your carby back on top. Oh, we've got to do a choke first, didn't we? So choke's the nearest one to you. Hook that up first. And then slide that into place. Pick your throttle up. That goes into place. Boom, boom, boom. Don't forget your little tiny spring as well, if you can get hold of it. A bit fiddly. Once it finds to all, it'll be alright. Oh, fiddly. Pair of long nose pliers. My fingers is too big to try and fit it and hold it at the same time. So a pair of long nose needle nose pliers does the job for me. Like that. That goes in. Connect your fuel pipe back up. All the way on. Put on your little fuel clamp. That goes on. Little tiny gasket, flat bit here goes on the bottom. That goes on. Take it off a choke. Airbox. Now bear in mind it has got no air filter on it. Don't forget your crankcase breather pipe too, guys. That's an important bit. That must go on. Stick that on. Now I have got an airbox coming for it. That should be here any day. But now, carburetor's back on. Loosey-goosey fit them for now. I'm going to check the oil, because the first thing people do when a machine don't start is overfill it with oil. That's the first thing they do. I don't know why they do that, but they do. So around the other side, just going to pull the oil dipstick out. It did have quite a lot of smoke come out when I first started it. And that's probably water in the system. Yeah, all is fine. Double check that again. I might just want a little tiny bit added, but I will add it later. But I'll try and get the machine to run first. There's no point adding it now if it don't run. So we've got fuel in the tank that can go in. We've got oil. We've got a spark. We know that from last time. Carburetor's been cleaned to the best that I can, which is not easy when the jet has been destroyed. Put some fuel in. There's the fuel. I'm now out of fuel, out of WD-40. You've got to shop and get some fuel and WD-40. But now we should be in a position where perhaps we can now try and start this lawnmower up. What do you reckon, guys? I ain't going back outside because I'm telling you, it's still lashing down. It's been lashing down all day. So there's no way I'm going outside. It's not happening. So I've got my doors open, well ventilated. But if it does run, I shan't be running it for long because I don't want to smoke myself out. Because my health is important. Well, that's what Mrs. P say anyway. Right, so there you go. Let's have a lawnmower now on the side there. Move that light out of the way. Quick little fire up. Point the old exhaust towards the door. See how we get on the choke. Right, let's see what it do. Hopefully it'll start up and not muck me about. Let's have a look here. See what happens. Oh, clout my hand or something. Good, it was a darn good run, wasn't it, Nee? So what I might do, I might just put it outside and let her run for a while. But the bulk of it's done, so I should come back tomorrow and check this again. But the machine is now running. It runs okay for what it is. I didn't think we were going to get a response out of that carburetor because we couldn't get the main jet out. But hey ho, we did. Okay, so one Cobra lawnmower now all running and driving too. The drive did work. Got to get the air box for it and the air filter. That's on order. I should look at the spark plug, change it if need be. It's not leaking no fuel. It now runs and starts and runs. It should do. But the problem is, it is the fuel. I did say to the gentleman, although he does buy the really expensive V-Power fuel, I said, for your lawnmower, just buy yourself some Aspen. Aspen 4-stroke. You get 5 litres for 24 quid if you go to shop and buy it directly. About £24. That whole container should last you 2 years if you don't cut your grass quite so much. But yeah, that's what it is. You have to spend what you use. But for a lawnmower, Aspen I think is a way forward to go. Just chuck it in there. 2 year shelf life. Don't have to worry about it. Simple as that. It's good stuff. So there you go. Quick little carburetor clean on how to clean a carburetor if the jet don't come out. That's the way it goes. I think someone had been in there. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. But if you want more videos on Micks Mowers and Mowerman on how to fix your lawnmowers, trimmers, hedge cutters, whackers and what have you, then hit the old subscribe button, whack the old bell, set your notifications to all. That way I'll be told, you'll be told, I'll be told, you'll be told. Who'll be told? You'll be told. Next time I'll upload another video. I look forward to the next episode of Micks Mowers very, very soon. But to and guys and girls, much more importantly, take care easy.